What's going on, guys? I'm Maze, and recently a brand new opening for the Pokemon Sun and Moon anime aired on TV. Opening 4, Your Adventure, and it was certainly a superb opening. So because of that, I've decided for today's video that I will review and break down this latest opening. And with that simple intro now said, let's jump right into this review. Welcome back. Alright, so the opening begins off with Pikachu looking like he just woke up from a nap. And although this is such a small segment in the opening, I have quite a bit to say about it. Firstly, I adore how lifelike Pikachu looks once waking up from this nap. It just reminds me how much I've come to fall in love with the Sun and Moon art style. And trust me, if you haven't watched Sun and Moon in such a long time, the art style has improved a lot. The animators were just getting used to this new art style at the start of the series and grew to be more confident with it along the way. Plus, if you just watched long enough anyway, you were bound to get used to this new art style. Regardless of that though, yeah, it's just so pleasing to me how the opening shot for this opening is a superb demonstration of the animation and art style for this series, which I've come to fanboy over pretty much. Like, no other Pokemon series has ever been able to capture Pokemon feeling lifelike, much like this series has. However, to at least be fair to the oldest series, they definitely had better battle choreography and character designs on some of the characters we've grown to love. Remember guys, I love every series, I'm not hating on anything. Moving on with my second point for this scene though, although other people might have not thought about this whatsoever, I can't help but feel like Pikachu is waking up from his break off the TV. AKA, once the episode ends, Pikachu goes to sleep, but once Sunday comes around again, Pikachu wakes up to provide us alongside his human friends, entertainment. If this was actually the animator's intention for this opening, then I'd say that's extremely lovely how they thought of that. If not, then whatever. I still like to think that's the reason in my own head. Next up in this opening, we then see Ash run towards Pikachu and jump off a cliff into the Alolan Sea. Under the Alolan Sea, Pokemon. Jokes aside, I didn't expect to see this come in whatsoever when I first watched the opening, but it's just perfect to showcase how Ash is basically a risk taker, as he always does this sort of stuff in actual episodes, and it also kind of shows his adventurous side, as he's now witnessing Pokemon under the sea, which of course he loves to meet as many new Pokemon as possible. If somebody decided to watch Pokemon when they never have done before, or somebody wanted to get back into this series, and this happened to be the first opening they watched, then it just gives them that perfect reminder how Ash acts. Side note, I also really love how the music drops as soon as Ash drops into the water too. Perfect synchronization. After this scene, I then got the biggest smile on my face, as the opening decides to give us a reminder of Ash's adventures so far in the Sun and Moon series in the form of a tape reel, with Ash walking in the middle of all of this while his team grows and evolves, which was a sweet touch too. Nothing else to really say here, but this does tie into the next scene. Maybe? Which is Ash looking very depressed while looking at a Pokeball, which I thought could be because Poipo got released recently in the series, which made Ash cry pretty much. However, thanks to somebody on Twitter pointing it out, Poipo was of course caught in a Beast Ball, so this scene could mean something else entirely, but I'm not too sure what else could possibly make Ash sad. If you have any ideas, let me know in the comments down below. But for now, I guess we have to go with that Ash is sad because he had to say goodbye to Poipo, and for some reason he lost the Beast Ball or whatever. Who knows, maybe he wants another Pokemon actually, which that would definitely come later on in the series as teased later in this opening and on the new arc poster. Before we move on though, I also need to point out how much attention to detail the animators put on Ash's face here. It really does look like he's really distressed, which I can't help but admire. That's all I'm gonna say too, otherwise I'll go on another positive rant about the Sun and Moon art style. So next, Ash's friends come to cheer him up by reminding him that they will always be there for him. Well, until Ash ditches them in Generation 8. Oh! Anyway, Ash then realizing that he has his friends, then tries to show his affection by trying to hug Kiawe. But Kiawe, being for serious, not always wants to show affection guy he is, dodges Ash's hug, which makes Ash most likely fall for good. We don't get to see it as it then cuts to the next scene. But this scene overall, man, what a fantastic way to show the bond between Ash and his friends. Next up, we then see Ash struggling in school, playing with his Pokemon at night, and then collapse on a field with Pikachu to gaze at the cloudy sky, showing us that he has overcome his sadness and enjoying his everyday life once again, even if there's struggles along the way, such as school. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is another perfect demonstration this opening shows. One trying to get over sadness, which pretty much the cure for that was friends. And like, trust me, from my own experience too, friends definitely help cheer you up in the time of need. So, it's really lovely to see this play a role in the opening too. Pokemon's all about friendship too if you think about it. Talking about friends too, we then get multiple shots of Ash's friends just having fun in their life too, while also walking towards their goal. For example, Mallow is happy cooking, which we all know she wants to have the best restaurant in Alola. Kiori is happy training, which we all know he wants to become stronger. Lana is happy looking at the sea, which of course she wants to explore under the sea in a bubble with Popplio. And finally, Sophocles is happy looking up in the stars, which of course we know he wants to meet loads of Pokemon from outer space. Lily though, although she does show a smile, she's just laying down tired with Vulpix, which I believe this could be foreshadowing that Lily is still trying to figure out what she wants to do in life, as of course this got teased back in episode 80. But towards the end, we all know she will definitely find a goal for herself, most likely relating to Vulpix and the Icanium Z as well, as why else would they give Lily the IC Crystal if it's not gonna help her out with her goal. Plus, Pokemon partners can help you find a goal, much like we saw this a bit from Serena and Fennekin back in the XY series. So yeah, overall, I feel like Lily is staying up late here because she's thinking of what she wants to do in life. And if I'm correct, that's excellent foreshadowing, and the opening will definitely update in a future time to show us a new scene of her and Vulpix being happy relating to their goal. Finally for this scene, you know I just had to say this, Lily is darn cute. Moving on with the opening, we then get extremely eye-catching battle action. Ash's Lycanroc battling against Gladion's Lycanroc, while Ash's Rowlet battles Hall's Dartrix. I told you what it was Hall's Dartrix back in my poster discussion. And also, we see Ash's Torracat battling against the Masquerades, aka Kukui's Incineroar, while it finally wraps up with Pikachu battling against the mythical Pokemon Zeraora, which Zeraora here might actually indicate that it will play a huge role later on into the series, maybe with Team Skull 2, as we still haven't seen them get their own evil arc, or even see the debut of Guzma. If none of this actually happens though, then Zeraora is just in the opening to make it look fancy, much like any other time an opening shows a legendary or mythical Pokemon that doesn't play a role in the actual series. Or who knows, it could just be there to advertise the recently released movie 21, The Power of Us, where Zeraora plays a major role in that movie. But anyway, going back to those trainer battles though, my god, the action was so fluid which I couldn't help but fanboy over, while also fanboying that pretty much each of Ash's Alolan Pokemon have a rival Pokemon against one of his rivals, aka the Lycanrocs, Rowlet line, and Litten line. That's so awesome, as we've never really seen each of Ash's Pokemon get their own rival. It kinda defeats the title of Powerhouse or Ace too. If you don't know what I'm talking about though, basically the Pokemon community give a title of Powerhouse or Ace to one of Ash's Pokemon in a series. For example, Charizard in the original series and Greninja in the XY series. There was just always one Pokemon that would be cooler and more powerful than the rest. But here in Sun and Moon, each Pokemon seems to get equal power and attention, that new attention being the rivals. That's really cool. Finally for this scene too, I believe it could be foreshadowing the Alolan League, aka Ash will battle Gladion in the top 8, Ho in the top 4, and finally the Masquerade aka Kukui in the finals. However, I don't think Ash will win the league after everything the anime creators have done to us so far with their leagues. I'm just gonna say that now. But yeah, I truly do believe this is how the Alola League will go. This is bound to be the final opening for this series anyway too, as we are now in the third and final season before we get the Generation 8 anime. If I'm correct too, then I'm perfectly fine with that Alola League lineup, especially for Mask Royale, as Kukui was the champion in the original Sun and Moon games. Let me know in the comments down below though if you agree with me or not that this could be foreshadowing. I'd love to hear. The next scene we get to see in this opening though is Team Rocket fantasizing about being on top of Team Rocket alongside their boss Giovanni, which I found this quite amusing, especially when Beware comes to break that daydream. As 1, Beware is just hilarious overall, and 2, it doesn't even let Team Rocket go anywhere to fulfill their dreams pretty much. And much like Ash at the beginning of this opening, this was a perfect showcase of how Team Rocket act. They think they can get on top of everybody, but also, they're goofy and always fail. After this, we then see Rowlet give a thumbs up to the audience, which was pretty badass and just showed me even more how much focus Rowlet got in this opening too. We're finally getting what we wanted, as it was definitely in the shadows for too many episodes compared to Lycanroc and Torracat. But now it's going to be equal once again thanks to these scenes foreshadowing and even what I stated earlier with its rivalry against Dartrix. The opening then ends off with this adorable Eevee, and I don't care what any of you say, it is adorable, running towards Ash and his friends while they pose for the final shot of the opening. This of course showing us that this new Pokemon will be joining our friends. Most likely Ash's too, due to being closest to him, and it does really look like it could belong to him too. And finally, Ash does need more members on his team anyway. Once again, I told you lot in my poster discussion that Eevee would belong to Ash. It's crazy, I know, and I thought I'd never see the day come where he would own an Eevee. However, it's just very pleasant to see, and makes sense with the release of Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee coming soon. Eevee also now being the second mascot of the Pokemon franchise pretty much. So, our boy Ash would need the other mascot on his team too, you know? And with that said, that actually concludes the opening. As you can see from my breakdown and my thoughts though, I definitely had a joyous time watching this opening, and will forever on when it next plays in future episodes. Just so many potential great foreshadowing moments too, which I cannot wait to see play out in the actual series. I'll admit, this opening is weaker compared to Future Connection for me, however, it's definitely in my top 5 of the Japanese openings I've seen, which are just pretty much X and Y and Sun and Moon anyway. The actual song, which I didn't really get to talk about too, was pretty chill, which fits the feel of Pokemon perfectly, especially for Sun and Moon series. That's all I can really say, as I don't know how to review actual songs. But yeah, this opening as a whole was very delightful for me, and I had such a fun time making this video too. Let me know in the comments down below though what you thought of this opening. I'd love to hear. And that everybody concludes this video. So if you enjoyed, then be sure to consider leaving a like and a subscribe for future Pokemon content. It helps out a ton. You'll also become a member of the Entity Squad. New Entity Maze merchandise is in the description below too. For now, this is Entity Maze, signing out. Thank you for watching.